guys. Okay, so this is a haul video, but it's a little bit of a crazy haul video, primarily because I am in a new apartment. Josh and I moved basically across the street, not very far, but we're really excited. I have an office, but as you can see, my office is still very much unpacked and unorganized and very loud because I don't have any kind of a carpet or anything in here to, you know, break up that noise. So that's gonna be the next thing on my agenda to get fixed. So if there is a little bit of an echo or like a tinny sound, I apologize. It's a blank office with, you know, blank wood floors. Okay, so here is how today went. Today I actually started off by going to 2 Value Villages, and then I also went to a St. Vincent de Paul, which I love that store. They're always so nice there. So I kind of got things from a hodgepodge of different areas. I also went to a Goodwill. So I hit up 3 different stores today: a Goodwill, a Value Village, and a St. Vincent's. So yeah, let's just go on ahead and dive in. So I only bought one thing at Goodwill. The Goodwill that I go to, I actually go to a lot of Goodwills, but I decided to hit up this one at the spur of the moment this morning. It's literally in walking distance from my house. I'm specifically looking for, you know, things for our new apartment, so mirrors and organizational stuff. So I actually did find one of those old IKEA, I don't know if you guys can see this, but so this, yeah, you can. Okay, so this IKEA shelf right here that everything is piled on top of. That's gonna be fun to organize. But essentially I got that for $7.50 this morning. What? $7.50! So we were actually gonna go to IKEA this morning and try to find something along those lines, but I ended up popping into Goodwill just to see if they had anything, and lo and behold, they had the exact thing that we were gonna go get. So I think those run roughly about $100+ at IKEA. I got it for $7.50, so that was pretty spectacular. So the other thing that I got at Goodwill was this. It's just a little brass. It's really, it's brass, but it's lighter than most brass statues that you run across. It's made on this little brass base, but it's just a crane. It's just a really beautiful brass crane. You can find these in like new condition online, but he's gonna retail for about $20 or $25. But I really love him. He's a little bit tarnished and a little bit aged. You can tell he's been sitting around someone's office for quite a long time. So I'm a huge fan of tarnish. I don't necessarily like cleaning things up so that they look brand new. I like the old look. So that's probably going to stay on this. I might get rid of some of the dust, but the tarnish is going to stay. So I like him. I got him for $3.99, and like I said, he's probably going to go for probably $20 or $25. What I think is hilarious is I got him for $3.99, and I got that bookshelf for just 50% more. So this versus this, I think it's hilarious. Anyways, that was some good luck at the Goodwill. So the next thing that I got, I'll show you. I went a little bit fabric happy today, which I'm really glad. So I sold one of my last pieces of fabric yesterday. I sell a lot of vintage fabric. Guys, if you are not looking at the vintage textiles, then you're really missing out. Textiles themselves can really make you a pretty penny, but if it's a vintage textile, it makes a lot more, because that is a textile that's really hard to find. Now, I kind of went back and forth on these. So some of these textiles that I got, I'm actually not sure if they're vintage, but I really love them. So I got them for that reason alone. But I'm gonna do a little bit more research on them and see if I can find them. So this first fabric I got for $4.99. I don't want anything to break because there is stuff over here. So I'll just hold it up like this. It is a silk fabric. It reminds me of the 1970s with this really just beautiful orange and yellow and green pattern. It smells almost like rubbing alcohol. I don't know if it's actually vintage, but it is in beautiful shape. There is a lot of it, so I'm gonna have to do some official measurements on it and see how much I have. But I've definitely got a lot of it, so I'm very excited about that. If I determine it's vintage, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to, it's in pristine condition. But if I can determine it's vintage, if I can't find another one like it, if I can do some research on it, this would probably retail for probably around $50 to $60, I would imagine. It's a beautiful satin with a very 70s print. That is no doubt. It is a very 70s print. I'm just not sure if it's a retro print or if it is an actual vintage print. So there is that one, and I'm gonna put that over there because I've got things that are piled up. So this next one, this next one, again, I don't know if this one's vintage or not. I'm gonna have to really look at it and see if I can find another one online, and also see if I can find like a date. Sometimes it will have a date printed on the edges if it's a pretty unused piece. I can show you an example of that here in a second. But I have not, there's so much of this fabric that I just haven't unspooled it to see if I can find the date on it. But I will show you this fabric. It is literally this. It is a tiger with bumblebees, which is very bizarre, and bamboo. It might be flies, I'm not sure, but it's a cat that seems to be very angry at either a fly or another cat. I'm not totally sure. But again, I have a lot of this one. I got it for $4.99. For those of you guys that start doing fabric, you can do it one of two ways. You can either sell it by the yard, so if you come up with a whole bunch like this, you can break it up and sell it by, you know, the yardage price. I don't do that. I'm not a fan of that. I'm terrible at math and I don't want to screw someone over. So I measure the entire thing and I sell it as is. If it's 12 yards, that's fine. If it's 1.5 yards, that's fine. I don't know how many yards this one is or how many feet this one is, but I'm going to say that it's probably going to retail for anywhere between $50 and $75 for the entire thing. I think it's really, really freaking cool. So that's the other one that I got. I told you guys I went cloth happy today. So here's what I was talking about a second ago. So for this one, you can see on the hem right here, it actually says 1978, the Bob's Merrill Company. This is a vintage Raggedy Ann and Andy sheet. Now this one I wish it's in great condition and there is plenty of it, but as you can see down here, someone cut out a square and then they also cut out a smaller square up here at the top. So this is not an unused piece of fabric. I will probably sell this one for 15 or 20 bucks, probably close to 15. If it's got chunks cut out like that, it's a little bit harder for people to use unless they're making something smaller. So I try to keep that in mind. So I'll probably retail this for $15, and then of course make sure that I take a picture of the whole thing laid out so they can see exactly where the cutouts are and what the whole thing looks like spread out. Okay, so the next one that I got, we're almost done with the fabrics. The next one that I got, and I love this one. I don't know how well this one will sell. I think it's pretty awesome. I got it for $3.99. I got this one at St. Vincent's. Those previous three I actually got at Value Village. Those were Value Village. So this one I got for $3.99. Again, I actually have a good chunk of it. It's cut out a little bit at the bottom, but it is vintage Pebbles and Bam Bam. And it did have, there was a date. There is a date on here. It says 1991 Hanna-Barbera Productions. So, yeah, and you can see it's gonna be upside down, but let's see if I can get you right there. So, 1991 Hanna-Barbera Productions. Yeah, and it's just got Pebbles and Bam Bam, Bam Bam. It says Beep Zip Boom, Bedrock Avenue, Playground Open, and it's got Dino. The dinosaur, Dino, I think his name is Dino. I'm pretty sure it was Dino. I used to watch them and the Jetsons because they used to go back to back when I was a kid. So I would just, you know, watch those guys. So I got that. And this is an interesting one because it's not like a sheet. It's got like a wool interior. So this would be really great for a pillow or, yeah, something along those lines. That one's probably gonna retail again for probably about 20 bucks, I would imagine. This fabric, I pray is vintage. I pray it is, but it does, it smells vintage. It really does, but it also reminds me of like an IKEA print. You know how IKEA tends to take older vintage looks and resell, like they're modern, they're very, so they're retro. That is what I'm afraid this one is, but it smells old. That's what gets me. And that's usually a pretty good indication of age. But look at this. Look at this. So it's got ducks and birds and it's got seagulls up in the sky. And then it just keeps on going. So there's the ducks again. And it's a beautiful orange and blue and brown 70s scene. I think it would make an absolutely stunning summer dress. There's a lot of it here. I have not added up the yards, but it cost me $4, and there's a lot of that fabric here. So if I determine that it's vintage, I need to do, like I said, need to do some more research online, see if I can find the identical pattern and make sure it's not available in current stores. But if I can determine that it was vintage, then it'll probably honestly resell for between $60 and $75. This is an absolutely stunning print. It's very indicative of the 70s. Easy to place. The colors are just beautiful and almost modern in a vintage way. Like I said, very IKEA-esque. So anyways, I'm excited to research that one. Okay, so let's move out of the fabric, shall we? So, and guys, I'm sorry for the way I look. Like I said, we're still unpacking boxes. The only t-shirt I could find this morning was Trick or Treat. So, Halloween in July. Happy Halloween, everybody. That's the way today is going. Okay, so this I got from Value Village. Actually, the rest of this, no, I didn't. Okay, so yeah, I got this one from Value Village. It's a kitty cat. It's a derp cat. So yeah, he's really beautiful. He's got little, someone loved him, so he's got the little felt pads on his bum. But he's got beautiful blue eyes and a lovely little expression on his face. And he's not very big at all, so he can sit on somebody's desk and keep somebody company. So he's probably gonna retail for probably about $15. I got him for $3.99. Let's do, this is one of my favorite things. So I got this for $2.99. I'm gonna have to back up to show you. $2.99. I think this thing is so cool. So it's probably gonna retail, I need to do some more research on it. I'm guessing it's probably gonna retail for about like 20, 25 bucks, I think. It's hand painted. It's tin, it's completely tin. So it would be great in like a camper, I think. Like if you're in a situation where you can't have electricity, but you still like pretty things. So if you're, you know, in a camper, but so it's an old hand painted tin cup. So it's blue and white flowers. And then this piece over here has, it lifts off and there's the filter on the inside. So you can just put in your coffee and let it drip. So it's a drip coffee machine, by the way, in case I didn't tell you. And I got it for $2.90. I don't know what they were thinking, but I got it for $2.99. And it was actually 20% off of that, because the way our Value Village works is every time you go there, every time you buy something, you rack up points. And when you get to a certain amount of points, you get 20% off of your entire purchase. So it was actually probably $2.39 if my math is right on this. So $2.39. What I think is hilarious is that the coffee cup doesn't fit in there. You can only fit it in through one side. So this has to sit a certain way in order for it to work. But yeah, unless I find something other than like something else like it that tells me otherwise, I think this is probably going to be around the $25 or $30 mark, $20 to $30. It is vintage. I can tell you that right now. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, that's gonna be some tchotchke, like some souvenir kind of a thing. It is not. It definitely has signs of age. There's denting, there's scratching, there's a little bit of rust and wear around one of the screws at the very top. It has little coffee stains on the bottom. This thing has been, it's been used. And I love it for that. So I'm going to probably put about 25, 30 on that. It's really light, so I think it's actually going to be really easy to ship. I just got to find a longer box, which I'm pretty sure I have in a pile over there. So that's how that's going to work. Okay, so the next guy, this was literally something I was walking by him. I picked him up. I looked at his back and I was like, yep, you're going in my cart. Like it was like a 2-second decision. And it's a pig, and I think he's an absolutely adorable pig. I don't necessarily like, I'm not into the farmhouse decor kind of a thing, but I do like weird farmhouse, and his expression is just, he looks so sad and happy and excited and worried at the same time, and that's pretty much my life these days. So the pig and I, we were simpatico, so I got the pig. But it does say, so I got him for $1.99. That was the other thing. He's $1.99, and again 20% off of that. But it says Bond 84 on the back. I don't know if you can see that, but it says Bond 84. So I'm guessing that was the owner, and he's ready to hang. He's got his little hanger on there. So yeah, I'm gonna sell him. I'm probably gonna put probably $15 on him. And again, got him for $1.99. So I like him. And this is a kind of a short video, guys, because I went to 4 places, but I'm trying to get really particular about what I find. I'm not finding things that I just love. I'm finding things that really have a good resale value, because I'm running out of room and I still have a lot of things that I have to list. So this one I got as a pay to learn kind of a thing, and I think he's gonna actually bring a pretty good profit, but it is a metal fish. I do not believe he's vintage. I don't believe he's vintage. I'm not totally sure though. So on the back it says Dick Livy Languid Decadence Artworks. I don't know what that says, but I do know it says Dick Livy, and it is signed by the artist, and it looks like he has He has a gallery in Seattle. So, and when I looked up some of his other stuff, it looked like some of his other stuff that was very similar to this sold for around the $35 to $40 mark. So I am going to, it says Celebrate Life on it, and it's got a little star right there, and I haven't quite figured him out yet. He's got a little twisty thingy on his butt. I don't know. I like him. I just have to figure out like what the heck he is. He's got little like shiny, he's got a little shiny eyeball, so I don't know. I gotta mess with him and figure it out. But I do like him. And so yeah, Dick Libby's, it says Dick Libby, Seattle, Washington. It has his address. So I'm gonna look up the gallery, and I'm gonna look up Dick Libby and see what other projects he's worked on as an artist. Yeah, but from what I can see online, just as a quick cursory glance, yeah, 35 bucks, which is not too shabby for $3 and probably 49 cents or something like that, whatever 20% off of that is. I can't do math, people. All right, the last thing, and this was, okay, I like this. I don't know if this is gonna sell though, because not a lot of people drink loose leaf tea, I don't think, anymore. I mean, I do know people do. Like, don't go after me in the comment area. I know people drink loose leaf tea. But I don't think it's as popular as just picking up your favorite tea in the bags and steeping, you know. And also in America, yes, there are tea drinkers, but we're not crazy, like, into tea. That's not what we drink. So I am not in the know when it comes to tea. But I got this really beautiful Treasure Craft, made in the USA tea jar, and it's turquoise blue, and that's primarily the reason I got it. So I found a whole bunch like this online, but they were yellow or red. They have a whole bunch of different colors, but yeah, this one is easy to find online. They look like they retail for about 15 bucks. I got this for $2.99, so I thought that'd be, you know, an okay trade if I could get that. So yeah, just this really beautiful tea jar. Now what I'm wondering is if this came as a set, and then there was also a coffee and a sugar, and you know, because they usually come with it. Where there's tea, there's usually the others as well. So I'm wondering if it came in a set, but I did find a lot of these singular online, so maybe it didn't. Maybe it was just a single tea jar, but it's got a really beautiful ornate lid. The inside is just kind of a really beautiful white, you know, porcelain, painted porcelain. So yeah, I think it's really cool. So yeah, altogether we spent roughly about 40 bucks, and I think we are going to easily break the $200 mark just based on the fabric and a couple of these other items. Primarily the fabric though. I'm telling you guys, if you're not doing fabric, you get it for anywhere between $1 and $5, and if it's vintage, it will retail for anywhere between $25 if it's a small amount to, you know, $70. I had a huge bolt of it go. I got it for $2.99, and a huge bolt of it sold just a couple, just last month actually. You can go back and watch it on the video. It sold for $80, so it was absolutely beautiful fabric. And then I sold a beautiful piece of vintage fabric, like fall fabric, yesterday. It was only about 3 feet, and I sold that for 30 bucks. So anyways, shipped that out today. So fabric sells really, really well, and I don't know if you guys, I actually have, so I have all of this fabric that I just showed you, and then I've got all of that fabric, which still needs to be listed as well. So that's gonna be done, but I need to kind of get I just need to get everything organized. My office is in shambles because I haven't figured out where everything is gonna go yet. I do have my shelf put together, so when I need to ship something, I have all of my stock here, and then I have my shelves ready to go with all of the, you know, my shipping materials and things like that. So I've easily been able to ship things out, but I don't have everything organized as far as where my product is going. So I've got to figure all that out. So anyways, that is it for this video. All right guys, I am popping back in really quickly because I ended the video and I grabbed all of my stuff and I went into the living room to sit on the couch and watch mindless YouTube videos while I logged in all of the stuff and then start photographing it. My personal favorite part, I've heard other people complain about it, but my personal favorite part of doing this is actually the research. I love learning about the history and then finding out that you have something that you genuinely love and then it's actually worth more than you thought. Like, it's just so much fun. Okay, so this guy, I think in the video I probably told you that he would retail for about $20 or $25. When I peeled off the Value Village sticker, I don't know why they always do this, but they always cover up, I'm sure there's got to be a reason because they do it everywhere, but they always cover up any kind of indicator of who made it. So on this guy's butt, it says Cybus USA. It says that in kind of like a little pin mark, Cybus USA. And then immediately underneath that, and I don't think you'll be able to read it, but it's right underneath that green dot. I don't think you can see it. But literally right underneath that little green dot in the middle, underneath Cybus USA, there is a carving, and it says, I can barely read it, but it says Cybus 1984 USA. They covered it up with the felt thingy, but it looks like it might be part of like a little bone or something. I can't tell. Anyways, point is, looked up Cybus, and he is a porcelain figurine creator from the early 1900s who came over here, started his own business around 1950, and the company continued to produce things. He's from New Jersey, but the company continued to produce things through the 1980s. I've still got more research to do on this guy, but this came as a set. There is another one with a cat that's standing up, like sitting up, and then there's this one. This one's name is Chantilly, and Chantilly is worth about 75 bucks. So this little kitty is gonna go online for about $75. I'm gonna clean her up and get rid of some of the dust of the ages, but she doesn't have any chips or cracks, no crazing. There is nothing wrong with her. She's in beautiful condition. So I'm actually going to put her on my desk where she's not gonna get knocked over. My desk is very clean, by the way, so I have a very large desk. She's gonna go over there where she's not gonna be touched. I'm gonna photograph her today and try to get her up. But yeah, so turns out that was my little treasure for today. That alone is gonna pay for well over what we spent for the day and give us back a little bit of profit. And that doesn't even count all of the fabric that, you know, that we purchased. So yeah, really good day. Okay guys, if you guys enjoyed this haul, make sure that you are liking and subscribing and commenting and asking questions. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. We will have another haul video coming up soon. I am going to the bins next week with my friend Brittany. We are not currently filming thrift with me's, primarily because I'm trying to not overwhelm myself with too much too quick right now, but we will do all of the haul videos going forward. You're going to be seeing a lot of haul videos, and then probably in a month or so we'll start to incorporate some of the thrift with me. So make sure you're subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.